10 p.m., December 3, 1973. A 37-year-old trucker named J.W. Edwards is hauling meat across Pennsylvania when he decides he's had enough. He stops his rig in the middle of Interstate 80, near Blakesley, picks up his CB microphone, and starts talking under the handle, River Rat. Within days, truckers he'd never met were blocking highways in solidarity, all linked by the same frequency. This is the story of Citizens Band Radio, how a quiet FCC service turned into a genuine national movement, then a Hollywood fad, then almost vanished, but never quite fully did. The FCC created the Citizens Band service back in 1958, mostly for small businesses and hobbyists who wanted short-range radio without the exams and Morse code requirements of ham licensing. 23 channels, a simple license, no test. For over a decade it stayed a footnote. A few 100,000 users, mostly farmers, delivery drivers, and radio hobbyists tinkering in the garage. Then came the 1973 OPEC oil embargo. Fuel prices tripled in places. The government capped the national speed limit at 55 to save gas, which sounds minor until you remember most independent truckers were paid by the mile. Slower driving meant a smaller paycheck for the same work. River Rat's blockade in December was the spark. By January 31, 1974, it had become a coordinated national strike, with truckers idling their rigs and, in places, turning violent. Bricks thrown from overpasses, at least one driver killed. The government negotiated a fuel surcharge deal with a 6-man trucker delegation on February 7, and the strike broke. But the genie was out. CB radio had just proven it could organize an entire industry overnight, and everyone had watched it happen on the evening news. Channel 19 wasn't originally the trucker channel. Channel 10 was. But Channel 10 sat right next to Channel 9, which the FCC had set aside strictly for emergencies, and the bleed over between the two was a mess. So CB users organized an on-air campaign to move everyone to Channel 19 instead, timed, fittingly, for October 19th. 10:19, Channel 19. It stuck, and it's still the trucker channel today. Hollywood noticed next. Convoy went to number 1 on the charts in 1976. Smokey and the Bandit hit theaters in 1977. Suddenly it wasn't just truckers, commuters, teenagers, whole families had a rig bolted under the dashboard. By 1979, CB's peak year, an estimated 20 to 30 million Americans owned a CB rig. The FCC, overwhelmed by the volume, quietly stopped requiring a license altogether in 1983. While all that noise was happening on Channel 19, a much quieter organization called REACT had been running since 1962, staffed entirely by volunteers monitoring Channel 9 for actual emergencies, stranded motorists, accidents, storms. At its height, REACT had something like 40,000 volunteers across nearly 1,000 local teams, working with the Red Cross and state highway patrols. Almost nobody who watched Smokey and the Bandit knew it existed. Once the license requirement disappeared, anyone could buy a rig and start talking, and Channel 19 filled with noise, pranksters, arguments, illegal amplifiers stomping over everyone else's signal. Then cell phones did what overcrowding alone couldn't. By the 1990s, most casual users didn't need CB to find a gas station or warn a friend about traffic. They just called. REACT teams mostly stopped monitoring Channel 9 not long after. Tens of millions of radios went into garages and attics. But not all of them. Long-haul trucking never fully let go, because dock crews and drivers still use CB for something a phone can't do well. Broadcasting a message to everyone nearby at once. Off-roaders and 4x4 convoys use it for the same reason. And when hurricanes and winter storms knock out cell towers, CB still works. It's a technology that peaked, got mocked as a fad, and quietly kept doing the one job nothing else could replace. If you enjoyed this episode, please like and subscribe for more signal history.